Al-Hurr is a very inspiring story. And throughout the past years, the most popular picked Ansari is always Al-Hurr. So inshallah tonight we'll hear different perspectives of the story of Al-Hurr. With the next speaker, I would like to invite Mujgan Reza Ifar, Musawatum Salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Who we are and what we become is defined by our past, whether it be the choices that we make or the decisions that we act upon. One simple decision that one makes in life can make or break their future. Similarly, the future of a nation, culture, or religion can also be influenced by the actions of one person or a group of people with like-minded beliefs. One such influential person in this regard was Al-Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. The son of Yazid ibn Najiyah, Hurr was a comrade in Yazid's army, the enemy of Imam Hussein. Nonetheless, Hurr was able to finally recognize the wrongs of his ways, and he, along with his son and faithful slave, departed from the army of Yazid and embarked on a journey towards Imam Hussein, and ultimately repentance for the sins that he had committed. On the 10th morning of Muharram, Hurr was welcomed into the camp of Imam Hussein. When the day of battle against Yazid's army arrived, Hurr was the first to go out onto the battlefield, where he fought bravely with the wishes of God wholly in his heart until his end. The moment of his death came with words of acceptance from Imam Hussein, telling Hurr that just like the meaning of his name, he was free. Now I would like to ask everyone to take a moment and think to yourself. Ask yourself truthfully and honestly, would you rather be right than be liked? Would you rather stand up for what you believe is right and stand alone, or sit back in silence with many people by your side? This was a question that was asked to my classmates in one of my classes at school. Out of a class of 30 students, only around 3 people thought that they would rather fight for what is right than stay quiet. 3 people out of 30. 10%. Whether or not this is a good representation of the population, this low ratio of people who would do something for what they believe is right is somewhat appalling to me, and this may be considered a snapshot of what is happening to our society. Our society and generation has been known to be labeled as millennials, who are people fixated on useless ideas in relation to technology. Whether it's someone who follows their favorite celebrity on Twitter, or someone who will make a YouTube video of themselves jumping into their pool from a roof, the youth population has been given the general label of self-obsessed and lazy to do anything worthwhile. And then there are those who try to do something for what they believe in and what they think is right. These people are given the new label of slacktivists. These are people who will post comments on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks, but fail to pursue their path of righteousness any further. Hence the name slacktivists. Again, these people are labeled as lazy, regardless of their heartfelt intentions. All in all, many of you might agree that the people of today are lacking the character of Hurr that we see through his actions. Al-Hurr was able to find the spirituality within himself to recognize the wrongs of his ways, and therefore make the incredibly hard decision of switching sides of the war. He didn't care about being right than being liked, and he was not lazy in doing so, in that he was able to leave Yazid and his former comrades to join the rightful Imam Hussein on a path of repentance to heaven. People of the present generation are lacking this ambition to act on what they believe is right. Perhaps it is because the social media has clouded their thoughts and taken control of their thought process. Perhaps they have lost the portrait of what is right that had been once painted for them. We have religion in our lives because we need the moral guidelines that our spirituality and belief in God has set for us. In order to live a prosperous and meaningful life, we need to recognize the lines of right and wrong. But with this line comes an even finer line that dictates what needs to be done to be able to reach one's voice out to the public. This could be as simple as a disagreement or as grand as standing up to a bully or facing hardship and adversity for what is right. Al-Hurr faced the inner struggle of right and wrong. Recognizing and realizing that the way you have been leading your life is wrong is an incredibly hard thing to accept. Imagine yourself coming to the realization that your life and the actions you're taking part of are sins that you have been committing every day. The life that you have always known is comprised of sin, and every step that you have taken is one step farther away from heaven and God. What would you do? What would become of you? Would you stay with your friends and comrades, people that you know and whose company you enjoy, but continue to act sinfully? Or would you leave the life you have always known to try and achieve a future that you are unsure of? Unlike the millennials and slacktivists of this age, Hurr was able to find the ambition and love of God within himself to make the decision of departing from the life he had always known. And it was the right decision. He died a heroic death for a just cause, and he was not forgotten for it. Years and years later, here we are, commemorating the incredible and exemplifying choice that Hurr made for himself. The 10% of people who choose to act on what is right, rather than back down, may be a small number, but they can do great things. These people are the foundation of greatness. They are the leaders that influence justice and teach us how to be a better person. Al-Hurr ibn Yazid was no doubt part of that 10% of great and just leaders. The question is, are you? Thank you.